Gears of War Judgment had a demo recently. I played it alongside Phil, and we're here today to talk about demos, betas, how they affect how we perceive games before they are released, and how they affect sales in general, because obviously for consumers it is a good idea. We like to try before we buy, but we think for developers, for publishers, that they are not such a good idea.
I don't think so. I think there's too many kind of variables if you play a demo. If you play a beta, not a beta. If you play it, then it can make you less excited for a game rather than more excited. I don't think it necessarily draws a new purchase.
Absolutely, and with the amount of trailers coming out before a game is actually released, all these CGI pre-rendered trailers that make the game look so epic, and you're getting really hyped up, and then they provide you with a free trial, or a trial of the demo, or a beta, then it can really be something that you didn't expect, and I feel it can lead to disappointment.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, this was a very good example of a demo. I think we both enjoyed this, and certainly I'd never played a Gears multiplayer before, and it made me actually physically want to buy a game. But in the past, I've played demos, what have you, and you just think that's enough. You know, that's kind of everything I needed out of the game. Without having to spend the £40 afterwards.
Yeah, Dead Space 3 would be my perfect example of that. So I was hyped from the trailers, I was ready to buy the game, I suppose. I liked the new features, co-op seemed like a good thing, and the survival horror aspect of the previous two, the Dead Space 1 and 2, that really interested me. So I thought, yeah, Dead Space 3 is going to be, a no-brainer. But then the demo came out and it was much more action horror. The co-op was seriously encouraged, and I wasn't a massive fan of that, and it really did actually put me off the sale, and I never actually purchased it.
Yeah, I used to actually play Dead Space 2 quite a lot, and it's quite a scary, frightening game, and Dead Space 3 just didn't kind of engage me in the same way, because, as you say, it's a co-op.
Yeah.
Play it with anyone.
Yeah, also betas, they do seem to make me hate the game. I see Defiance, the beta came out, and I just completely went, alright, so this isn't finished, and it's out soon, so this won't be a day one purchase, I'll wait till they patch it, and it's really, I have enjoyed some, like Crysis 3, we enjoyed that.
Yeah, very much.
What are the betas? We had Medal of Honor Warfighter, which the majority didn't like. I think the majority were put off that game.
I think more people played the beta of that than actually bought the game.
I think they just ruined the hype. I think Call of Duty, for example, they got it just right. Provide all these trailers, get that hype, so get everyone hyped up, and don't provide any too much gameplay. Don't provide too much, a demo action. Don't give them a demo. Don't let them try it. Just let them queue up at midnight and make those world record sales figures. And I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, have them queuing up in the shops, and they can go from there. I think, as you say, if they release a beta and it's by definition not finished, it's not a right game by the time it comes out, then all it's going to do is actually put more people off than would necessarily have done before. More people might have bought Warfighter if the beta hadn't been a bit glitchy and fucked.
Yeah, and what I found most disturbing was the fact that Medal of Honor Warfighter, the beta, was so close to the release of the full game, as was the case with Crysis 3's beta. They are so close to the release, and if they have these major glitches, which they both did, it really puts you off. It really doesn't encourage you to buy the game on day one.
It's almost more as though they're gathering data for the first patch.
Yeah, I've said it before, where I've bought a game on day one, and then I'm faced with so many problems when I've finally loaded the game up for the first time, and it just feels like I'm back in a beta, like I'm the next line of beta testers, like I'm a premium beta tester. I paid full price for this game, so we're going to fix it 3 months later when it's half price and people can buy it for cheaper, and I feel a bit cheated, and it really doesn't feel like I'm playing a full retail release.
No, absolutely not. Most of the games that I've played betas on recently, and that goes back to Battlefield 3, Warfighter, Crysis 3, I'd already pre-ordered those games by then, so it was kind of it was almost more like sort of getting your eye in on how the guns are going to move and what have you, rather than actually, is it going to sort of influence my decision on to buy the game? Because they're not going to be able to have time or the money, I guess, to actually physically improve it from a beta that comes out that late. I suppose if you want to see a beta, you want to see it a year in advance, so they can physically get some data. And it doesn't matter about graphics then.
Yeah, I wish the development cycle was still as long as it used to be. A year passes these days and the sequel is already out. It's not good, is it? They are trying to rush those annual releases out and everyone's getting involved. Since you brought up Battlefield, we'll talk about that. I think that's going to be one of the worst betas because they have Xbox 360, they have PS3 and they have PC. Obviously the next gen consoles, they can't have a beta on that because they're not going to be released, and 2 out of 3 of those, they're going to look a bit shit compared to trailers or gameplay demos and Battlefield 3 in general, because Battlefield 3 already pushes the Xbox to the limit. So I can't imagine what they're going to do for the demo, and I can't see it being more than 24 players. I can't see it. It's going to be like Operation Metro all over again, and that was not a good experience.
It wasn't. I think the Battlefield 3 beta, damn it.
Beta, embrace America.
Talking to a northerner. The Battlefield 3 beta, I probably played an hour of, if that, and then went back to Bad Company 2 and just waited for the full game. I think the biggest thing as well is that, you know, with any kind of multiplayer online game, you want the variety, you want the different maps and the different classes, and you want to be able to rank up and so on. And any demo or beta is always going to only be one map, and it's self-limiting.
And the problem with that is that they have to provide something that will impress, something that people will see and go, yes, I want the full version of this, I want to play more of this, see more of the game. And a lot of the time it is the best level that they put into the demo, and you play the full game and you're like, oh, right then, so the demo was actually the best bit. And sometimes, oh god, sometimes they completely false advertise anal, Jesus, Aliens colon and anal, fantastic. Aliens Colonel Marines, they're getting sued, which is hilarious.
They got found guilty over here by the Advertising Standards Agency of misleading consumers.
What's the world coming to, eh? What's the world of gaming coming to? I do think that betas and demos, our focus has been on the AAA title side of things, but I think for smaller games or indie games, that demos and betas can be advantageous because they raise awareness of the game and we know about it, and it's good to try that kind of thing. I'd like to see something like Xbox Live Arcade where you can have a trial of any game before you buy it. I'd love something like that. Try before you buy for everything, so that you can see the standards of the game, and that would make developers have to make a good polished game.
Yeah, I think, as you say, it's nice for games that aren't necessarily going to be on your radar, but for something that's ultimately a big AAA title that's going to get the pre-orders in anyway, whether or not it's worth it, I don't know.
Yeah. Right, we'll end the video there. If you have any opinions on this matter, or you have examples of games that you've played demos or betas for and it's put you off the full retail release, then do leave a comment down below. Hit like if you enjoyed the video. On the right we have Phil's video, and on the left we have one of mine with Phil, so click one of those. Click the one on the right though, because it's Phil's, and you should go to his channel and subscribe and give him some Mac love. And yeah, that's all from me, Mac the Gun, and Phil, coming in your ears. Goodbye.